Yo, it's good, everybody. We got another Beers with Barton. It is Friday, September 3rd. Oh, there's a phone right there. It is Friday, September 3rd, 2021. Hope everyone's having or had a fantastic week and is ready for the weekend, the long weekend for most. Yesterday, I've actually done a couple of these. I actually wasn't doing them for a little while, but did one earlier this week to talk about a little fantasy football, and then yesterday did one to yesterday's my dad's birthday. Just kind of talk about my dad, and we got to celebrate with him, which was awesome. So today, a little bit different day. Today is actually the 9-year anniversary that my father passed away. So obviously wanted to do just a little video to honor him, share a little story. One of my best memories I had of him. So unfortunately, 9 years ago, my dad had a stroke. He ended up having, I believe, a blood clot, and it hit his brain stem. So he was pretty much toast when it happened. He was in a coma for a couple weeks until we were able to kind of travel back and say goodbye. But we didn't know at the time. Thankfully my mother did not didn't pull the plug on his birthday yesterday. Waited till the next day, and then he passed a couple minutes after they took him off life support. So he was pretty much done as soon as the stroke happened. But one of my favorite memories actually of my dad. So I moved out when I was 20, maybe 21, a couple years before I got married. We grew up in San Francisco, and Jessica and I were dating at the time, maybe even got engaged. Actually, no, we hadn't gotten engaged yet. Anyways, moved up to Sacramento, about 90 miles north. Jessica went to school up there, and so ever since then, since 2004, I believe, I haven't lived at home. And we spent a couple years there. We'd go down, obviously, over the weekends and whatnot, and spend time with the family, but we moved to North Carolina in 2007, and we'd go back once or twice a year because our family was back there, but my parents would come out here at least once a year. So one of my favorite memories really is my dad. It was before Michaela was born, so it was probably 2000. Let's see, we moved out here in 2007, and so I'd say it was 2008 or 9 maybe. Parents were visiting, hanging out, and we had the afternoon of the day. My dad and I somehow, I don't know, maybe my mom was with my sisters or whatever it was. We ended up going to this place called Flying Saucer, which is basically it's got like 100 and something beers on tap. It's got some food. It's right near my tattoo place. Used to be my tattoo place. We went there. My dad's not a huge drinker. He grew up in a household that had some issues with that, but he'd have red wine from time to time, and he drank a little bit more as we got older, but he didn't really want that around the house when we were young, which I was thankful for. So we end up there, and I'm having a couple beers, and we're just kind of talking. I said, "Dad, have a beer," and he's like, "No, I'm not really sure." And I was like, "Dad, try this beer. I think you'll like it. It's like this fruity, like raspberry beer." And so he's like, "Okay," and he tries it. "Oh, it's really good. It's really good." And proceeds to order a couple more. So he probably had 3, 4, or 5. I don't know, probably 3. And I had a couple, and he was a little toasty, a little tipsy for sure, but nothing crazy. And I don't really remember any specific conversation we had. I don't remember, but it's probably the first time in a long time. It's just my dad and I. We're just hanging out. We're just talking. He's telling me how proud he was of me and Jessica and the life we'd started, and just catching up. It was 12, 13 years ago, so I was in my mid-20s, probably only been married for a couple of years when we moved out here. So it's just a memory that always sticks in my head because it was just a time that I had with my dad. And, there's 5 of us. I'm the 4th out of 5 kids. I never really had time with my dad. I mean, we had a great childhood, and we spent a lot of time together as family. I have a lot of good memories, but I don't have a ton of things that were, "What's up, Potter? What you doing?" You can go outside and bark. I just don't have a ton of memories where it's just my dad and I. I think it was just he worked, and my mom worked, and there's 5 of us. So, if anything, we were always together. So it's just a really good memory I had, just the 2 of us, selfishly, and just, I really reminisce about that time a lot, crazy enough. It's just something that really sticks in my head. So I was able to find, a few years ago, I was able to find the beer that we had, and I went searching for it today, and I was lucky enough to find it. It's this bad boy right here. It's Linemans Framboise Raspberry. It's a Lambic beer. It's Belgian. It's a wild yeast fermented. It's rich, sweet raspberry flavor and character. If it's sweet, I probably won't like it, but it's a Belgian beer. I don't know what the ABV is. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, I have no idea. It doesn't even say it on here, and it's probably way more than I want. I'll figure it out later. But anyways, I haven't looked for it that often, but I certainly haven't found it that often. And to be able to, it's got a cork in it. Oh, well. Looks like I have to find a cork straight over here. Didn't plan for this. So I don't search for it that often, obviously, because it's, not something that I'm gonna want to drink that often. But found it today and thought, how appropriate would it be just to, just to have a little something to remember my dad by, and just remember, honestly, one of the best days that I have as a memory with my dad and I. And like I said, I don't have any specific, reminiscing of exactly what we talked about or anything. It was just time. I just hung out with my dad. We talked. We caught up on life, and it was just him and I. And that's it's one of my greatest memories. So yesterday, definitely the first couple of years, just this time has always been tough. And then as the years go on, it was definitely the days leading up to, and then the days of. The last couple of years, at least mentally, I've been trying to have yesterday, my dad's birthday, just really be a celebration day, because that's what it should be, celebrate birthday and life. And we did that yesterday. I had the family over. It was great. Really enjoyed doing that. Try to carry that momentum in today. Today wasn't the worst day I've ever had. It's not the worst of the last 9, but still not the best day either. So it's mentally just trying to stay strong, and just like I always tell myself and others is, I don't think you ever fully learn, or you don't ever fully heal. You don't ever fully, know how to live when you lose someone, but you do learn to live the way it is. And I think I've learned over 9 years today. I've learned maybe how to live without them, unfortunately. So I just try to keep that. Remember the good times, like that great time my dad and I spent at Flying Saucer. It's after 5 o'clock Eastern. I think my mom called me sometime around now, 5 or 6 at night, and said they had taken him off life support. And a few minutes later, he passed. So, yeah. Anyways, if your parents are still alive, hopefully they are, whoever's listening to this, hug them, call them, tell them how much they mean to you. And, for me personally, being a father now, my father passed away when my daughter was 18 months old. So he didn't really get to know her. I have pictures and I remember it, but she doesn't remember him at all, which is tough for sure. But again, I just continue to tell her how amazing of a grandfather that he was. And I know that he'd be proud of all of us. So Dad, this one's for you. I love you. I hope you're having a wonderful glass of red wine up in heaven and just hanging out and maybe reminiscing with some of your friends up there about the good times, and hopefully talking about your kids, because we're talking about you. We love you. You mean the world to us. So love you muchly, Dad. It's very good. Whew. And it's very sweet. It's actually got a little bit more carbonation than I expected, but it's not bad. I'm sure Jessica will love trying this tonight. So we'll throw the cork on back in there and try to keep it as fresh as possible. We'll try to put the cork back in. If not, we'll just drink it really quick. We're gonna drink it really quick. All right, guys, that's it. It's a Friday. I did no physical activity today, which is horrible, but I'll play basketball tomorrow. But that's not what it's about. It's about just mentally being as strong as I can and trying to remember my dad, which I think I have. And I'm going to spend some wonderful time with my family tonight. We're going to go out to dinner, just the three of us, and just hang out and then have a low-key evening. So, Dad, again, I love you muchly. You mean the world to me. I think about you a lot. And part of me feels 9 years. Wow. I cannot believe it's been 9 years. And the other part of me is... doesn't feel like that long at all. So, all right, everyone, have a great rest of your evening. Have a good weekend. Dad, until next time, deuces.